Om Shanti and welcome everyone for making to this sustenance class, our 6th episode. Let's make a start. Om Shanti. I hope everyone had the time to read the Murli, and if you haven't, that's all right too. So we shall start the session by a short story first, and then we will discuss the Murli main points. And then we are going to create a bookmark so that we do a bit of drawing. And then after that, we will do a meditation based on our learnings from this Murli. Om Shanti. So the Avyakt Murli date was 27th 11/85. I hope everybody is comfortable in listening in English. Otherwise, I can speak a little bit of Hindi as well for our Hindi guests. Any preferences you can put in the chat box. Om Shanti. So as always, we'll start with a short story. The story of Gandhi and the Salt March. As a young man in South Africa, Gandhi read widely on justice, religion, and non-violence. And one of the books that deeply influenced Gandhi was On to This Last by John Ruskin. And in it, Gandhi found a simple but radical idea. The good of the individual is contained in the good of all. So Gandhiji was a big believer of not just reading the words, he immediately decided to live them. And what he did was he moved to a small farm where he and his followers lived simply, worked with their hands and shared everything. तो गांधी जी का क्या था, सिर्फ एक बात कहते नहीं थे, उसमें जो बात पढ़ते थे उसको करके दिखाते थे. और ये सब बातें साउथ अफ्रीका में हो रही थी. That experience taught him that truth and justice are not just to be believed, but to be practiced in daily life. Right? So what did Gandhi do? He said, years later when he came back to India, when the British imposed the unfair taxes on salt, a basic need for every family, Gandhi remembered the principle he had lived out earlier. Justice must be practical, shared and lived. He didn't just write or speak about it. Instead, he walked 240 miles with ordinary people to make salt from the sea, because the British government at that point of time had put tax on salt. So Gandhi walked 240 miles with ordinary people to make salt from the sea. That simple act, grounded in what he had once read and practiced, it shook the British Empire. It became one of the turning points of India's freedom struggle. So what do we learn from this? Gandhi showed that reading inspires thought. जो भी हम पढ़ते हैं, उससे हमारे उसी तरह के हमारे विचार बनते हैं. But practicing even one principles give its power. तो जो भी हमने पढ़ा, whatever we read, if we try and inculcate that or if we practice it, it gives us powers. हमें शक्तियां मिलती हैं. His life was proof that the smallest step, छोटा सा कदम जो गांधी जी ने लिया, walking, farming or making salt, can change the course of history when knowledge is lived, not just read. तो सिर्फ पढ़ा पढ़ाया, सिर्फ किताबों को पढ़ा, लेक्चर्स सुने, क्लासेस सुने, ये सब बहुत अच्छा लगता है. लेकिन जब तक हम उसको अपने जीवन में ना लाएं, till we don't actually inculcate one small act, then reading is not necessarily the best way to do it. So just taking small steps about making sure whatever we read, we try and experience it, we try and experiment with it. So now let's look at some of the Murli points. Probably have to move this somewhere here. Yeah. So the first Murli point was Nishchay Buddhi, or determined mind. What is a determined mind? Nishchay Buddhi kya hota hai? So a determined mind is full of, Baba says, full of spiritual intoxication. What does Baba say in the Murli? Spiritual intoxication is the mirror of form of faith or a determined mind. हम जब कहते हैं ना हमें किसी चीज का नशा हो गया है, we have been intoxicated. That shows that we are really determined to do what we have read, or it is this way of how the mind is. It's not just knowing it, but in practice. That means in thoughts, words, and action. So anything we speak, anything we study, if it's not showing in our thoughts, words, and actions, that's not the sign of a determined mind. The whole play is our mind. How does our mind behave? Mind is programming, mind condition. So a determined mind means a life of intoxication. As is the intoxication, so will be the glimpses of happiness. जितना हमें नशा होगा, उतनी ही हमें खुशी होगी. Right? On the face, in our behavior. हमारे चेहरे पर, हमारे behavior में. An experience of one such second. An experience of what? Spiritual intoxication of 1 second can take you to eternal happiness. One moment of such an intoxication can have a deep touching. Baba ki touching hogi when we are spiritually intoxicated. One such drop is the experience of the ocean. One drop of spiritual intoxication can give us the experience of the whole ocean. So what is experience? Experience is the goal. When body is separate from soul, it experiences the true qualities of the soul, which we shall see in the next slide as well. What is Baba saying in the Murli? So let's look at what does intoxication do. Generally, let's look at the people in general, the general public. What happens when they are intoxicated, when they've had a lot of drinks, intoxicated to whatever? It makes us forget. It makes us forget all the problems. It puts everything aside. Makes us feel really happy. You almost have a buzz feeling. You're totally relaxed. You're calm. And it also, intoxication makes us want to do more. And when done with others, when you're sitting with a company of intoxicated people, and when done in style, it almost becomes a habit. It becomes a routine. Sometimes we start looking forward to it. Like some people say, oh, Friday nights. Friday nights is my night to go out and have something which is, I don't want to name it, but anyway, the sense of, it creates that feeling of looking forward to. मन में इच्छाएं होती हैं कि मुझे ये जाकर ट्राई करना है. A sense of relaxation होता है, or you start to feel stress relief. अब आप ये imagine करो, now imagine that we start to feel spiritual intoxication. Just for a minute, imagine spiritual intoxication. What do we start to feel? When we have spiritual intoxication, our bodies are light in weight. We almost feel like angelic bodies. We start to have a sense of love towards everything, care towards everyone. And we do not judge anyone. किसी को किसी के लिए भी हमें प्यार ही प्यार या दुआएं दुआएं होती हैं, बट हम किसी को जज नहीं करते, ये ऐसा है, ये ऐसा है. our sense of experience is almost like a dancing stage. Our internal sense of satisfaction. And the best part is जो हमारी waste thoughts होती हैं, तो हमारा chattering mind होता है, that becomes into a sense of soundless, peaceful content, combined state in alignment with spiritual energy. That is a beautiful feeling of spiritual intoxication. जैसे कहते हैं ना, नशा चढ़ा हुआ है, बाबा का नशा है. And what does it lead to? It leads to gratitude. And we start to enjoy those quiet moments. So much so that if there is any time that, you have spare with you, you want to be in that stillness of the moment. We become givers. We open our hearts. We are not dependent on anyone or anything. It's almost a sense of being liberated. And isn't that spiritual intoxication better than any other intoxication? Definitely one has to experience this. The second point is Ashariri Atmik Swarup. So Baba was saying in the Murli that when you have an intoxication, a spiritual intoxication, you are in a bodiless spiritual form. That means your body is separate from the soul. Then it experiences the true qualities of the soul. When the soul is in the body, the constant battle is trying to be in this soulful state and then becoming body conscious. And you're constantly having this chatter between, I want to be soul conscious, but then the body is pulling you towards. But when you are out of this body, or you're in that intoxication of spiritual energy, you are away from this body. You almost feel that the two are separate. They are not caught up in relationships and emotions. You experience what you're involved in. So if you are inside the body, you are experiencing the body stage, the body full stage. But when you're out of this body, Baba says you're experiencing a bodiless stage, and that is your first intoxication. Ashiriri Atmik Swarup, meaning bodiless in your spiritual form. So that was the first intoxication Baba was talking about. Then comes the second intoxication. What is that? It's our life just now, in the confluence age. A beautiful divine life at this time. Whatever the world is around me, जो भी संसार में चीजें चल रही हैं, how do I perceive this? As an observer, as a detached observer. How does my intoxication remain amongst all up and downs? You'll feel that the people who have spiritual intoxication, they really don't get too much emotionally involved in it. They are in a sense of connected to that spiritual energy and having a sense of being in gratitude, happy and content. Amongst all upheaval, you are still in a state of gratitude. You feel blessed, and at the same time, you experience the flow of spiritual vibrations. So that was the second intoxication Baba was talking about in the Murli. Then he talks about the third intoxication. Intoxication of being an angel. Isn't it beautiful? Intoxication of being an angel. Who is an angel? फरिश्ता कौन है? जिसकी light की body है, the body of light, detached yet loving, and in a flying state. So he's not only a power of light, giving out light, but in weight, he's light, he can fly. And when we are inside the body, what happens? We are heavy. We can't be inside a body and be able to fly away. No. So Baba says, try to be in this intoxication of being an angel. being able to fly away from situations, being able to see a different perspective, being able to see the perspective of others rather than just your own perspective. So being in that angelic state was the third point of intoxication. The fourth point, Baba said, intoxication of the future. Even when we look at this picture, what is this? Where am I going with the new knowledge points that Baba is giving to me in Murli every day? Baba is giving me, Baba says, look at the golden age that is about to come. Even when we look at this picture in front of ourselves, don't we feel fully spiritually intoxicated? हमें नशा नहीं चढ़ता हमें गोल्डन एज का कि हम कहाँ जा रहे हैं, क्या सत्युग में आने वाला है. So that's another intoxication, spiritual intoxication that we can look at. The next point, being stable in intoxication. So what happens is when the learning is in actions, in every contact, it is called spiritual intoxication in corporeal form. Corporeal form is the soul and this body form. Baba says that attitude spreads in the environment and vibrations. When we are in this intoxication, what happens? Our attitude will spread a beautiful, stable environment and vibrations. And the words, the three V's are Vritti, Vayumandal, and vibrations. Vritti is your attitude or the spiral effect that it creates. Vayumandal is the environment and the vibrations. So these will create pure energy fields with being in this intoxication. So everyone in contact experience, let them feel your vibrations of happiness too. Imagine someone comes and meets you and they're feeling low and you are in this, you're vibrating this beautiful energy. Your attitude towards them is merciful, soulful, in that soul state. And as soon as they come to you, they start telling you something. But after some time, they have this beautiful feeling or they have taken energy from the vibrations or from the environment that you have created. And through the corporeal form of spiritual intoxication, through one's vision, through one smile on the face, the words of your mouth, you are then called victorious chels. So being stable in intoxication and spreading that beautiful energy field around you can actually change the attitude of the person who comes in contact with you. This Murli is full of intoxication. I hope everyone can actually do at least one read. And then you will not be able to leave it. You'll want to read it again and again. Another eighth point, which is very interesting because Baba normally says to be working very quietly in जब भी आप पुरुषार्थ कर रहे हैं, you do it quietly. You don't go around singing your own praises. But in this one, Baba says not to be secretive about intoxication. So why is Baba saying this? So Baba gives the example of the sun. Baba says, no matter how dark the clouds are, the sun cannot give up its light. Does the sun move away or do the clouds move away? क्या बादल हिलते हैं कि sun हिलता है? Clouds come and move away, but the sun remains situated in its form of light. So the vibrations of a person who is in spiritual intoxication acts as a shield for himself and others. And that is why Baba is saying, when you are spiritually intoxicated, यानी कि आप रूहानी नशे में हैं, तो अपनी लाइट फैलाने से वायुमंडल तो बदलेगा ही. But you're not only a shield for yourself, but you're also a shield for others. So that is why you don't have to be secretive about your intoxication. You should in fact share your intoxication with others. The next point. Baba says the more you experience this intoxication in your life. Now, this is something that we need to really underline and see. Baba says the more you experience this intoxication in your life, the more you will become free from worries and become a carefree king. बादशाह बाबा कहते हैं ना बेफिक्र बादशाह. So Baba says जितना आपको नशा होगा, the more you are intoxicated in your life. He's not saying just in words, he's saying in your actions, in your thoughts, in your words. The more you experience this intoxication in your life, the more you'll be free from worries and become carefree kings. Now expand it or put this into practice. Now this is the task Baba is giving us. Expand it. You know how when we do experiments, we start off with a small experiment. And then we have a little bit of success. And when you've had a little bit of success, what do? You become brave enough and you do another experiment. And then you do another experiment, right? So by doing this little experiments, you don't have to start with big experiments, small experiments. Just try one small thing from the Murli. When you experience that happiness, another good thing that happens is Maya cannot do any trick of hers. यानी कि माया भी आपको हाथ नहीं लगा पर कर सकती. Maya cannot enter the kingdom of a carefree king. Isn't this beautiful? Maya cannot enter the kingdom of a carefree king. आप बादशाह बने हुए हो, बेफिक्र बादशाह, तो माया भी आपके पास नहीं आ सकती. She comes and you chase her away. Then she comes again and you chase her away. Sometimes she comes in the form of a body. Sometimes she comes in a form of a relation of the body. So when people come and they say or they wind you up or something, you are sitting like a carefree king, right, on your seat. And Maya comes and she's not able to touch you because you are in spiritual intoxication. You know, any one of those 4 intoxications that we discussed before, it'll come in the form of a body. And sometimes she'll come in the form of relationships of the body. Baba's given such a beautiful example. Baba says it comes in the form of a Maharathi elephant. That means it comes in big forms. Sometimes she comes in the form of a cat. Sometimes she comes in the form of a mouse. You know, the cat and mouse phenomenon. Sometimes you chase the mouse away. Sometimes you chase the cat away. Time is spent in this task of chasing her away. So what is this cat and mouse? It's the fear of engulfment or the fear of abandonment. So we are constantly chasing the mouse or the cat away. But Baba says, actually, when you remain in intoxication, in the spiritual intoxication, the cat and the mouse, all the mayas also cannot come close to you because you become a carefree king. Such a beautiful line and gives you even more intoxication to think about it. Okay, so that brings us towards understanding the main Murli points. But the 4 main intoxications that Baba was talking about was being either an angel, a shariri, he was talking about bodiless stage, and then he was talking about being remembering our future and remembering our current state. What is our current state? Our current state is that we are in this confluence age, right? And when we are in this confluence age, we feel spiritually intoxicated with everything that we have been given, all the knowledge, and when we put it into practice, Baba says not just to read the Murli, but to be able to put it in our thoughts, words, and actions. Okay, so I hope everybody's got a piece of paper that we can do a little bookmark. So we'll get a bookmark out. And in this bookmark, we are going to make little forms of drawings, right? So we can just have maybe a small, long bookmark, and then we can draw an angel. We can draw a happy person, which is us at this point of time. We can draw another angel, and we can draw the golden age that is going to come. Right? Maybe 2 minutes while we listen to music and we experience or we enjoy our time drawing this little bookmark. And what I'll do is I'll stop sharing the screen so that one can look at this bookmark, how to make this. So like a little bookmark which has angels on it, has scenes from Golden Age, and then at this point of time in your current state when you are always under spiritual intoxication, हमेशा खुशी में बैठे हैं हम, किसी से कुछ भी हमें ना एक्सपेक्टेशन है ना कुछ उम्मीद है, but we are happy in our own selves. Right? So if everyone can draw, I'll give you another 2-3 minutes. And then after that, we will look at doing a small yoga based on today's Murli. Om Shanti. Beautiful drawing, Kantaben. You have a lot of help today. Nice one. When we draw, we also experience spiritual intoxication. Baba's holding our hand. Baba's with me, helping us draw. We can't even say we can't draw because Baba's holding my hand. Later you can color it as well and put it on your, if you're a reader, you can put it in your book as a bookmark. But if you're not a reader, stick this on your fridge. And every time you pass by, pick one of those drawings and then believe that, you are in spiritual intoxication. Om Shanti. So Baba was telling us all these points for two reasons. And one of in the Murli, what Baba was explaining was that we have to change two things, our world and our habits, right? Sansar or sanskar parivartan. Why do we have to change this? We have to change this because we want to experience something new, right? We want to be under, and Baba was giving us the methods of changing those habits, of changing the world around us. So if we are in spiritual intoxication, जैसे किसी को नशा होता है, वो कुछ अपना एक घूंट भरते हैं, तो उनको क्या संसार में हो रहा है, they don't feel it, right? They are in a very happy state. So Baba said, otherwise we are never able to change our habits. We are never able to have that change happen to us. But if we remain spiritually intoxicated, we are so happy that, the rest of we are not bothered about changing other people. We are not bothered about changing the world. We are in this full intoxication of happiness. So isn't it beautiful? So ये जो bookmark है, how are we going to use this? So there is a little task. For 1 week, what we can do is we'll practice the 4 points of our spiritual intoxication by charging water. So I've got a glass here of water. Okay. I think I will stop sharing, then we'll be able to see. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll have this glass of water, एक glass पानी लेंगे, preferably on a particular time at a particular time of the day. Say first thing in the morning, आप एक glass पानी लेंगे और उसमें एक बूंद नशे की डाल देंगे, स्पिरिचुअल इंटॉक्सिकेशन डालेंगे. ठीक है, एक भी कोई पॉइंट, कौन सा पॉइंट डालेंगे? Suppose we put this point that this is our time of conference age where we are studying Baba's knowledge and practicing. ठीक है, इमेजिन हमने ये ग्लास पानी लिया और उसमें एक बूंद स्पिरिचुअल इंटॉक्सिकेशन की डाली या नशे की डाली, जिसमें हमने ये वाइब्रेशंस डाली कि मेरा जीवन कितना रंगीन, कितना सुख भरा जीवन है. Isn't my life beautiful, right? And then we will give this drishti. We will say that 7 times, right? And then we will drink a sip of that water. So what will happen if we practice this for 1 week? We have charged the water with soulful energy, with Baba's ways of showing us that how one can remain spiritually intoxicated. सारा टाइम अगर नशे में ही रहे हम, इमेजिन कीजिए आपके संसार और आपके संस्कार तो वैसे ही बदल जाएंगे. योर वर्ल्ड एंड योर हैबिट्स, ओल्ड हैबिट्स बदल ही जाएंगे. Say for example, there is one annoying habit of yours. Imagine there is a habit of that you get irritated with small things. Someone comes in front of you and they have a certain way of behaving, but you are not acknowledging the fact that, and it kind of creates this chattering mind and you want to get rid of this habit. So what you do is you take this glass of water first thing in the morning, you fix a time, you take this glass of water and you put this 1 drop of intoxication in it, saying that my life is beautiful. It is absolutely perfect the way it should be. And when you put that energy and you repeat it 7 times and you drink that sip, you'll start to feel it. Because Baba says, I'm giving you these 4 ways of spiritual intoxication so that you can be in that intoxicated mood or intoxicated time that you will automatically will change your habits and the world around you will change. Right? So this is what is your homework for 1 week. So looking at this bookmark, you can pick up 4 different you can think of the heavenly, you can think of the Satyug that is about to come. You can be in a Farishta Swarup, you can be the angel Or you can think about your current age, and then Baba gave another one, which was the bodiless. I didn't know how to draw bodiless, because bodiless can just be an outline of myself, but then we shall do a meditation on being bodiless and all these after us. Any questions? Anyone wants to share an experience and say, you know what, I'm not able to get rid of this habit. How do I go about it? Or anyone wants to share, ask any questions based on the Murli? I have a very quiet audience today. Okay. Om Shanti. Thanks for being such good listeners. And then once you have practiced this, can you then write down, journal it at night? रात को बैठ के लिखें कि आज मैंने ये प्रैक्टिस किया, वाटर चार्जिंग भी की, और फिर मैंने ये बुकमार्क में से भी अपना कोई ना कोई एक नशे की चीज पकड़ लिया. I picked up one of my intoxicated style, and then I did that and how I felt. So if you can journal it, then that will really be wonderful. Okay. Shall we sit in meditation now? Yes? Okay. I think everybody is very keen to meditate, so that's exciting. Om Shanti. Sit comfortably. Om Shanti. Sit in a comfortable posture. For the next few minutes, wherever you keep your hands, wherever you put your feet, जहाँ भी पैर रख दिए, जहाँ हाथ रख दिए, वहीं रहने दीजिए. Let them be where they are. Be absolutely still. लंबी गहरी सांस लीजिए. Take a deep breath in. Follow your breath. Go into you, into your lungs. Bring your attention under your nostrils. अपना ध्यान अपने नाक के नीचे nostrils पर लाए. Between your lips and your nostrils. And watch. Observe the breath going in and out. Let it be. Close your eyes. सांस ले रही हैं, सांस बाहर आ रही है. In and out. Bring your attention to the stillness of this room. Motionless. Just you, the being, in this body. Just be. See your body. अपने शरीर की तरफ देखिए. Observe your body. कौन ऑब्जर्व कर रहा है? Who is observing? The soul. The soul in the center of my forehead. मैं आत्मा अपने शरीर को देख रही हूँ. I am watching this body. I'm watching these hands, the fingers. मेरे हाथों की तरफ देख रही हूँ. इन हाथों की तरफ देख रही हूँ. I, the soul, watching these hands, these fingers, the arms, the shoulders. और जैसे ही मैं इनकी तरफ देखती हूँ, and as I observe these hands, I feel the hands are bodiless. मुझे ऐसे एहसास होता है कि ये हाथ हैं ही नहीं. आत्मा को एहसास होता है कि ये हाथ ही नहीं. I, the soul, take the attention towards my shoulders. Shoulders की तरफ आत्मा देख रही है तो कुछ भारीपन सा महसूस हो रहा है. I feel heavy on my shoulders. I feel I'm carrying the burden of this day, of this week. मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है मैंने अपने कंधों पर आज के दिन के बोझ, हफ्ते के बोझ उठाए हुए हैं. I let go. मैं छोड़ देती हूँ सारे बोझ. I, the soul, take the attention towards my neck and my head. I feel light. एक हल्केपन का महसूस था. And very slowly I bring my attention to my chest, my stomach, I observe, मैं देख रही हूँ इस शरीर को. मैं आत्मा देख रही हूँ. I take my attention to my legs, my knees, मेरी टांगों की तरफ, and to my feet. As if they don't exist. And then I bring my attention to my head again. वापस अपने सिर की तरफ. Into the center of my forehead. A shining point of light. भ्रिकुटी के बीच चमकती हुई बिंदु. और बड़ी धीरे से आत्मा शरीर छोड़ देती है. शरीर के बाहर. थोड़ा सा ऊंचा. The soul leaves its seat out of this body, outside this body, and moves slightly upwards, just a meter away. And now the soul looks at this body. The head, the eyes, आत्मा देख रही है इस शरीर को 1 मीटर के डिस्टेंस पे, थोड़ी सी ऊंचाई पर. Looks at the body, the face, the shoulders, the hands, the chest, the stomach, the legs, the feet. This spiritual intoxication of bodiless state. पहला नशा अशरीरी अवस्था का. I am out of this body. I am permanent. And this body is impermanent. Temporary. The permanent watching the impermanent. I am bodiless, I'm light. I am in awareness. Soul out of the body experience. और जैसे ही आत्मा अलग, शरीर अलग. And as soon as the soul is separate from the body, it starts to experience the soul qualities, soul conscious qualities. Purity, peace, love, joy, bliss. The soul feels complete. The soul feels full. I feel intoxicated in the love, in the vibrations of pure energy around me. I feel the flow of divine energy towards me. I feel liberated, unlimited. किसी से कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए. आत्मा संपूर्ण हो गई. भिखारियों की तरह पहले भीख मांगते थे प्यार का. Like a beggar begging for love, asking for love. I am now liberated from all this. The flow of divine energy into the soul is an intoxicating experience. It's limitless. It's complete. I feel stable. I feel fearless. I feel so happy and content. खुशी की कोई सीमा ही नहीं. I become soulful. I experience spiritual intoxication. I see situations I see perspective of others. I see relationships. मैं देखती हूँ situations को, रिश्तों को उनकी नजर से. I accept. Very, very slowly, I, the soul, return to my seat inside my forehead. And all the divine energy that was in the bodiless state, जितनी शक्तियां उस अशरीरी स्थिति में थी, I let it disperse inside all the cells of my body. मैं इनको अपनी शरीर के सभी सेल्स में जाते हुए देख रही हूँ। शक्तियों का प्रवाह आत्मा से शरीर में जा रहा है। प्योर एनर्जी फ्लो। लंबी गहरी सांस लेंगे। टेक अ डीप ब्रेथ इन एंड रिलैक्स। ओम शांति। ओम शांति।